Hello, hi there, it's Paul from SET. What we're going to talk about today is as well as. It's probably one of the most common mistakes that people make in OET writing, and I see it a lot when I'm teaching and reviewing people's writing. Okay, so before we get started, please just check down below. You can see a link there for our free OET course. Just click that link, you can sign up and you can start joining free demo classes with us, and you can get loads of information about the OET exam. All right, okay, so let's do it. Let's get started. Well, what is as well as? What is it? Okay, well, it is an addition linker. It's a phrase that we use to add information to our sentences. Okay, that's all it does. Okay, now it's an alternative to and. A lot of people use it because they feel like they've used and enough in their writing, and what they want to do is they want to have a bit of variety. Okay, now when do we use it? Well, we use it in a lot of places. We use it when we're adding new items to sentences, without causes, without results, without contrast, and it's mainly used in listing. Okay, we list in timeline paragraphs, in background paragraphs, in request paragraphs. Imagine treatment, advice, symptoms, medication, lots of different things that we can use it for. So what mistakes do we make? The mistakes that I see are that people don't understand that as well as has a different list structure to and also we have to follow as well as with noun phrases, and that's really gets very, very tricky. Now, we're not going to get into all of the detail today, but I am going to show you some examples, and I hope that they'll be really useful for you. Okay, so let's go and have a look. All right, noun listing and verb listing. That might be a phrase that you're really not familiar with, but noun listing would be where we choose one verb. Okay, we choose one verb, and that verb might be something like eat. Okay, Paul ate. Okay, Paul ate a chocolate bar, an orange, and an apple. Okay, so I know this is very general English, but we can see one verb. Okay, and that one verb has done three things here, hasn't it, in this list? Okay, it has eaten three different things. Okay, you eat the chocolate bar, you eat an orange, and you eat an apple. That's a nice simple way of doing a a noun list. Okay, now with a verb list, you've got multiple verbs. Okay, so now what we're doing is we are doing something like this. I woke up at 6, went to the shop, and spoke to my friend. Okay, so now we've got multiple verbs. And what are they? Well, I woke up, I went, I spoke. All right, so they're all verbs. So that's important. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do something which is really important now, and we're going to think about something called items. Okay, items. So I'm going to say that in this first sentence, a chocolate bar is an item, an orange is an item, and an apple is an item. In the second one, I'm going to say woke up at 6 is an item, went to the shop is an item, and spoke to my friend is an item. Three different items. Now this is really easy, and the reason why it's easy is because we've done something nice and easy. Okay, what we've done is we've said X, Y, and Z. All right, let's think about those items again. Let's say that X can be blue. Okay, X can be blue. Y can be green. And Z can be yellow. All right, well that means if I look at these ones, I've got Paul ate a chocolate bar, there's my first one, and woke up at 6. Okay, that one and this one. Doesn't seem to be working, does it? Let me try again. Chocolate bar and, oh, there we go, yeah. There we go. These ones are going to be blue. an orange and went to the shop, they're going to be green. And an apple and spoke to my friend, they're going to be yellow. Okay, so what I did was I separated X and Y and I used and. Okay, we're going to put those in red. So these are typical kind of lists. I think we use lists like this in a lot of different languages. It's just a typical list. Now, that's the way most people do lists. But the thing is, in OET, you might have already done a list like that. And what you want to do next is you want to do another list, but you don't want to use the same structure. You want some variety. And this is where as well as comes in. All right, so let's go and have a look at as well as. Okay, so we've got a timeline here. We're going to pretend that we're doing a timeline. And we're going to say that Mr. Smith presented with these 3 problems. Okay, those are the problems. Well, let's start with 2 and then we'll look at 3. All right, and I'll show you the first problem. Mr. Smith presented with chest pain and shortness of breath. Easy. Okay, we've used and as our addition linker. Now I'm going to take the same thing, I'm just going to start copying and pasting. I'm going to put as well as there. Okay, now that works. That's okay, both of them are fine. Well, okay, let's do it again. And let's do the list. Okay, I'm going to take this away. So chest pain, this time 3 items. Chest pain, shortness of breath, and dizziness. Easy. Okay, we've used our nice list, and that's what we've done today so far. But let me show you the mistake that people make. Okay, they do this. Now, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but that's not allowed. We can't do that. Okay, so what do we need to do? Well, we need to understand that the listing structure for as well as is not the same as and. And is X, comma, Y, and Z. Like we said, chest pain, that one can be blue. Shortness of breath, that can be green. Dizziness, that one can be yellow. All right, so Z is yellow. Y is green. I know this is very basic, guys, but it's important for us to show what the difference is. All right? When you do as well as, it's not like that. Okay, let's take these ones and put them down. It is X and Y as well as Z. That's how we do it. Okay? You don't list in the same way with as well as you do with and. So what do we need to do? We need to take away this and we need to put, this comma, we need to put and here, and we need to put a comma here. Now those commas, sometimes people put them, sometimes people don't, but we can see that there is a difference there. Okay, that's the first problem. First problem is listing structure. People forget this all the time, make all kinds of mistakes with it. Let's look at the second problem, which is a bit more complicated. Okay, this one's a little bit more complicated. So, when it comes to verbs, and is really flexible. Okay, we can put verbs with and no problem. Okay, so let's think about a request. I'm writing to a nurse and I want the nurse to do these 3 things. Okay, I want the nurse to do this with Mr. Smith. Okay, so can you please monitor Mr. Smith's blood sugar and encourage exercise? All right, okay, so we're encouraging him to do exercise. Let's scroll up so we've got some more room, okay? Now that's great. What have I got? I've got monitor as a verb, okay, and encourage. Excellent. If I did 3, what would I do? Okay, I'm going to take this away. Can you please monitor Mr. Smith's blood sugar, encourage exercise, and advise him to eat more fresh food? Okay, so what have we got? We've got our 3 verbs. Excellent. And what have we got in terms of a list? Well, let's take this back again. We've got X, Y, and Z. That's our list. Okay? X, Y, and Z. Excellent. All right. So, and is here. Our comma is there. No problem. But, unfortunately, this is where the complexity really kicks in. Okay, so before we do go on, remember, go below, register for our free course. You can get lots of classes like this. If you want to find out more about us, you can find out more there as well. Come and have a look. All right, so what are we doing with as well as? Well, with as well as, we have to follow with a noun, because as well as is a preposition. And prepositions, one of the big general rules of English is that prepositions are followed by nouns. So, can you please monitor Mr. Smith's blood sugar as well as? Do you know what happens here? We turn the verb into a noun, and that means converting it into a gerund. Okay? Can you please monitor Mr. Smith's blood sugar as well as encouraging exercise? That's the rule. You cannot follow as well as with a verb. You can only follow with nouns. So, let's take it across here. Can you please monitor Mr. Smith's blood sugar and encourage exercise? Now, as well as something. Now, we've got our structure right, okay? We've decided to get our structure like this. We've learned our lesson from before, and we know that it's an X plus X and Y. Sorry, I'll take the copy from up here as well. It's easier, isn't it? Okay, we know that it's this. What do we put after as well as? Okay, sorry. We need to put advise, don't we? But we need to put it into a noun form. Well, what people will do is as well as advise him to eat more. Well, that's not correct. That's not correct. Does anyone know what we need to put here? Yeah, it's advising. It's a noun. Okay, so I know that that's tricky. So there's those 2 things that you've got to make sure that you are able to do properly. 2 very difficult things. And there are other complexities to do with adjectives and the passive, which make it even more difficult. So what's my advice? Okay, it's easy to make mistakes with the list structure and the noun phrases. So here's what I would say. I would say listing is important, so practice. All right. And second, be clear. In OET, the most important thing is that the reader understands what you're telling them and what you're asking them to do. Don't take risks on the day of the exam. If you're not comfortable with using as well as, or in addition to, or along with, which all are the same, then don't take a risk. Also, with your lists, try and restrict your lists to 3 items maximum. Very regularly, when I read people's writing and I'm observing what they're doing, people put lots of things in their sentences, in their lists, and when there's a bit of passive in there and then you use something like in addition to, it starts to get a little bit out of control. So clarity. All right. But in any case, listing is important, and even without as well as, it can be difficult to do it. So I hope that this was a useful video. Don't forget to sign up if you want to find out more about grammar, about vocabulary, or strategies for all of the exam. And hopefully we'll see you soon. Enjoy your studies. Bye guys.